Absolutely, but we are talking about medicine, not politics.
In Northern Ireland, Catholics and Protestants are learning to live with each other. In South Africa, blacks and whites together are building a new nation. But in Israel, Arabs and Jews are as far apart as ever and seem determined to go on killing each other till the end of time. But there is an island of sanity in this sea of madness. It's Jerusalem's Hadassah Medical Center, and it's one of the only places in the region where it doesn't matter if you're an Israeli or a Palestinian. One morning we were there, a young Jewish woman was brought in, a settler who'd been shot in her car by a terrorist. She was 7 months pregnant, and the doctor saved her and her baby. Minutes later, the doctors were called to the intensive care unit to treat not an Israeli, but a Palestinian, an alleged arms dealer who'd been shot by Israeli soldiers. So 10 minutes ago, you were working on a woman who was shot, conceivably by a gun that this guy supplied. Maybe? Dr. Ab Rifkin is a surgeon and head of the Hadassah Trauma Unit.
I am personally inviting you to see what treatment these two patients are receiving. And if you will find any discrimination, let me know.
It's ironic, isn't it, that one of the most, quote, normal places in Israel is a hospital?
Is a hospital. No, it's obvious. It's obvious. Here life means something.
And Hadassah has been in the business of saving lives for 90 years. In 1913, an organization of American Jewish women called Hadassah sent a couple of nurses to Jerusalem to open up some clinics, which grew over the decades into this place, the Hadassah Medical Center, still owned and funded by the same group of American women. It treats nearly 1 million patients a year now, but its guiding principle has changed. Medicine, the motto goes, is a bridge to peace, and every patient gets equal treatment here. The hospital is one of the few places left in Israel where you still see Jews and Arabs together. There may be no greater equalizer than a waiting room. Throughout Hadassah, you'll see Jews helping Arabs, Arabs helping Jews. In fact, you'd never know there was a war going on if you didn't see so many patients with shrapnel wounds and blast injuries. In most wars, doctors and nurses go to the battlefield. Here, the battlefield has come to them. It's right outside. Dr. Shlomo Mor Yosef is the hospital director. This hospital has probably in the last 3 years become more experienced in treating terror victims than any hospital in the world.
Unfortunately, it's true. We treated here at Hadassah about 50% of all the casualties all over Israel.
When there's a suicide attempt like this recent bus bombing in Jerusalem, most of the really serious cases end up here at Hadassah because of its trauma unit. It's the most sophisticated in Israel, perhaps in the world, when it comes to treating terror victims. Victims like Hannah Nathanson, who'd been on the bus with her children. One of them was still missing.
I was with 3 donors. They told me they didn't find one of them. I don't know where she is and my mom. And the pain is indescribable.
She soon found out her daughter was dead. Near Hannah, in the same emergency room, an Arab victim of the same attack was being treated. Yasser Herbawi was driving the bus behind the one which exploded, and like so many people near a blast, his eardrums had been shattered. Do you ever get used to seeing these people come in?
No. No, I'm telling you, you cannot be used to it. I'm all the time emotionally involved.
Dr. Rifkin says his entire staff, Jews and Arabs, is emotionally involved all the time.
If something happened, you don't have to call anybody. Everybody is here. Everybody is coming to this hospital.
Just like that?
Just like that. You are on call, you are not on call, you are on duty, you are not on duty, everybody.
Dr. Rifkin was at the hospital the night a patient named Hassan Salameh was brought in with critical gunshot wounds. Hassan Salameh was a Hamas leader and the mastermind of a series of bus bombings that killed 45 Israelis. Don't tell me that looking at Hassan Salameh on the operating table and knowing who he was and what he had done, that it wasn't different for you than treating another patient.
You know what? In the opposite. I want to prove him that when you came to an Israeli Jewish doctor, you received the best treatment in the world. To show them we are human beings.
It's a message he hopes Salameh's Palestinian followers have digested.
They know that Hassan Salameh, the hero, was tried to killed by Israeli soldiers and was saved by Israeli doctor. I don't have any problem with it.
No problem. That's almost become the motto of the people who work at Hadassah. But does it really work that way? Not according to the man in charge who sees what happened to his staff since the war began.
They shout more. They are in not an easy and comfortable way. We see change in their behavior around the hospital.
The physicians say that they're not under stress, but you see it.
No question about it.
And you see amazing scenes as well. This one, for example, the patient, Palestinian journalist Ahmed Jadallah, surrounded by young religious Israelis watching Jadallah's videotape. There he is on the ground, just after he'd been shelled by an Israeli tank in Gaza. He was brought to Hadassah, where he woke up in a room with strange bedfellows. In this hospital, when you got out of the surgery,
Yes.
you were in a room, and the other patients in the room were an Israeli soldier, a Jewish right-wing settler, an American religious Jew who'd broken his leg,
Yes.
and another Palestinian from Bethlehem.
Exactly. Everybody looked at each other. We don't speak with each other, nothing. Then I start to speak, like, hi, how are you? What's happened to you? Like, with the soldier first. Then the mother of the soldier and the father of the soldier was very nice.
And he says the Jewish settler brought him tea.
You are not in Israel. You are not in Palestine inside the hospital.
Most of the patients